So, hello, I'm Val. I use all pronouns. How about you?
My name is Tevna, and I go by she, her.
Work. Okay. So we found you through, I think I found you when going through Mirrored Fatality and Uhuru versus Uhuru's like Instagrams because we had them on. And then I went to see like suggested people and I saw you and I checked out your music and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, you know? And so I just wanted to know like how like because I know you played a show, I think it was in the Uhuru verse, the multiverse like festival. Like how did you get to know them?
Yeah. One of them reached out to me, and I think it was a mutual following because I remember I just got a DM or I just got an email, and it was about the digital festival for the multiverse. And I just interviewed with them and sent them over some content. And yeah, I just set up like a whole little backdrop space in my studio and it worked out perfectly. So that's how that like all came together.
Sick. So how would you categorize your music in terms of like genre?
Yeah. I would say for the most part, it's definitely R&B and soul. It does have a couple splashes of like alternative sides to it. I really like the 80s throwback song Jungle. That one is really cool that I produced because it just feels like you're in the 80s. And then I do like a lot of electronic too. So just R&B and then like slash electronic.
Sick.
Yeah.
And are there lots of people who do that? Because I know that there's hyper pop and like electronic pop and like there's lots of electronic things, but with R&B, I feel like we don't see a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. Um, I heard someone call it like dream pop, and I thought that was
Yeah.
perfect. I was like, that's exactly how the music sounds. Like if I could categorize, I would probably just categorize it under dream pop because it is kind of like you saying, like it's R&B mixed with that type of like electronic vibe. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, who are your biggest musical influences?
Yes. So I would say my biggest musical influences over like the past decade, because they change every decade, would be Solange.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really listening to her stuff a lot. I really like FKA Twigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though she's like a European artist, I've kind of been like diving into more European music. And I would have to say Blood Orange. Blood Orange is like a super inspirational artist to me.
That's so cool. Yeah, I can definitely see a lot of these influences in your music because it's kind of like in a way hypnotic. I like when I was listening to your music, the only if I had to describe in one word, it's hypnotic. And
Mm.
so, you know, especially FK Twigs and Solange, they have that. There's like this, I don't know what to say. It's just like there's this feeling into it that the electronic and like the slowness and the lyrics like
Yeah,
gets
it's
you.
almost like transy. It's a
Yeah,
nice trance.
yeah, exactly. And that's why I wanted to like ask about your spiritual beliefs because since it's so, like you said, trancy, I wanted to ask like, because I don't know if it was Janae Aiko who did this, where like with every song she kind of like did like a spiritual thing with it, like blessed
Mm.
it or in some way that every song has like a spiritual connection. And I was wondering if you do that because the way that your music sounds, it feels like there's a connection.
Um, yeah, I definitely have been super into just having my own piece recently. And I feel like over the time of producing Mad Girl 2, I just learned how to channel it a lot better. And um, I just feel like, like in general, like the meaning behind Mad Girl is just like everyone just thinks it means like just a mad girl, but it's like obviously we all have, things that we're going through or, different traumas or whatever it is. And I just feel like we have to do whatever we can to kind of rekindle ourselves and to kind of make ourselves whole again and like undo those ties that we did and like make new ones, like you have to encourage that and like embrace the beauty within that.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like is the real meaning behind like Mad Girl is like knowing your spirituality, like knowing your power, not letting your past define you, you know?
Yeah. In a way, it's kind of like getting through like self-healing and
Mm-hmm.
self-care.
It's so much of self-healing, like it's probably 100%.
And I was looking to your Instagram and I noticed that you mentioned having a website, but I can see it in your bio. What happened to the
Yeah.
website?
So the website is up. The website is always going to be up. It's going to be www.audiobay.com.
Okay.
So it's just the same as all my other social platforms, the Twitter, the IG, and then the website. So they're all under the same handle. And it just has like my visuals on there. I should probably update it.
Yeah. So how long have you been performing?
I've been performing for about probably 2 years, like seriously. Yeah, not including 2021, but like, yeah, since probably 2018.
And like, how did it feel playing your first set ever?
Um, it was definitely different for me. I mean, I've performed with like a group before or like with multiple people, but solo shows are definitely, like based on just one person. So you have to get mentally prepared for that. But it's just a rush. It's a huge adrenaline rush for your first performance. And it's kind of something that I enjoy. Every time I'm done performing, I like go in the crowd and like shake hands with people, and people are like, dude, that first song was like so, so good. Or like, I love that second song. And it just, you just kind of open yourself up to people and they kind of see like what you want to like share about yourself. And it's cool. I really like performing.
Does the feeling ever change? Like when because you've been performing for a while? Like, does that adrenaline rush ever change?
I mean, not like the first time. I don't think so. Never. Because the first time is just like, the first time for anything, like you're super, super nervous. But I mean, I guess I could. I guess I could get a little nervous. Like it's my first time. It depends on the show.
What is like where do you usually perform?
I usually perform in Oakland. I've performed like once or twice in San Francisco. And I was more or so looking to like expand to like LA and like push my music there next.
I think you could do LA. I think LA is very doable just because like dream pop is getting so big now.
Yeah.
And so it's like LA is really in tune, I think, with, I know there's a huge rock influence in LA and like hip hop influences, but like there's so many people who do dream pop and are getting hyped now. And I think like LA is starting to like finally flow into that because, rock and hip hop has been
Yeah.
for so long. It's like the pillars, but like dream pop is finally entering the gates.
Yes. Yes. I'm so excited. I've been doing my research on LA and just trying to get a kind of like scope of what like my work would be out there, or like possibly like a manager, or like if I'm going to be independent, like I'm just, like balancing out the options. But like overall, it just does seem like the most beneficial place to go, like you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, whatever choice of whether you want to go independent or managers, up to you, but any choice is amazing because it's, your whole career.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Can I ask, I'm gonna call you out for a little bit. Your YouTube. Why are the comments off? What's going on?
I think I turned them off because some of the comments have just been a little like, I don't know, they've just been like a little challenging for me, and I just find myself like deleting a lot of them because they're not positive. So
What?
I just turn them off. Yeah, it's
Who's
like, it's just,
hating?
I don't know. And to be honest, like I get a lot of flags, and a lot of like reports like on some of my videos, and like some of them get taken down and like I have to re-upload them. And to be honest, I really don't know. And it's just YouTube.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
That doesn't even, you have a hater. You have someone coming for you, and I don't know who it is, but this is weird.
Oh God. I mean, to be honest, that's just why I have my comments turned off. Like I'm still gonna proceed either way.
Now this is the last question, but like I said, if you want to keep talking, you can after and all that. If you could create a character in a fictional world, what would it be?
If I could create a fictional character, I would create a plant person who's made out of plants, who could like create a plant in like 10 seconds anywhere on anybody too.
That'd be sick. Would it be the one with like thorns? Would it be like, or like a delicate plant?
Could be like roses. That would be sick.
Oh yeah. Could do, and there's so many colors of roses. It could be vibrant.
Yeah. I would say red.
Nice.
Just because that's like the most passionate color.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for letting us interview you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
And for everyone, stay tuned because she's going to show up very soon on May 30th. And so we can see your video and like everything and just sneak peeks. Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.